Trading Places is presented by
Half a day. My name is Corporal Dayhill. I am the OIC for Special Housing Unit. Today, me and Nick will be changing places. He will be the OIC of my unit. He will be in charge of 33 inmates and 5 officers.
Getting right to it, a morning briefing starts off my day as a corrections officer at the Department of Corrections, exchanging information of the day's events with the outgoing shift, then reporting to my first assignment, Post 6, the maximum security unit. Behind these walls, accountability is key.
So right now we're here at Post 6 maximum security unit where they need at least 2 officers at a time to secure the inmates here so that they can bring them out for their 1 hour of.
But first we put the inmate in handcuffs and shackles. It's one of the rules I unfortunately didn't get right at first.
The thumb rule. No. The thumb rule is when you cuff a person. Use 1 finger.
Sorry, bro.
Okay.
Then we do a thorough inspection of the cell before allowing the inmates their 1 hour in either the day room or in the enclosed yard for fresh air.
So right now we're looking for anything out of the ordinary, contraband.
Searching high and low in trash, food, under the mattress, and even in the toilet paper for anything that inmates can use to either harm someone or themselves, or even food that can be used to make alcohol. Corporal Dayhill has been with DOC for the past 26 years and states not all those locked up are bad people.
They already did their charges. So in here, you have people who think the violent crimes they did, they should be treated like animals. Everyone here is a human. Being incarcerated is the punishment.
We're off now to inspect the perimeter of the max unit, but not before testing out the restraint chair. There's no way I was going anywhere.
But the officers basically use this on the detainees and the inmates, you know, if they get out of hand or suicidal.
Being completely strapped down and unable to escape, I'm sure was amusing for my cameraman and my fellow officers. But getting back to work, we walked along the fence, inspecting to see if there are any areas in need of fixing. This was a moment where the corporal expressed the most challenging aspect of the job.
The biggest part of the job you come fatigue on doing?
Yeah.
16 hours a day.
Good point.
A lot of times these are volunteers.
He says sometimes officers are left working an extra shift at a moment's notice. Well, now that the fence, the locks, and all the glass windows around the building are thumbs up, time to report it to the desk watch.
Sir, perimeter check 68.
Good.
Code 68 in prison terms means assignment complete, which the officer noted in the logbook.
Officer Delgado reporting from Post 6.
Welcome aboard. Come in, Chief.
Now for a change in scenery behind bars, we continue the day down at Post 5 with Officer Jesse Kitichai, a 20-year DOC veteran who oversees the high-profile Level 1 detainees awaiting trial.
Which are first-degree criminal sexual conduct, the first-degree murder, pretrial murders, aggravated assault, attempted murder, and the like. Everything that's of first-degree felony is here.
Officer Kitichai said the rule in his block is to pat down all who enter and exit. It's an easy but also tiring part of the job.
Can I ask them, please pick up your hands, open up your hands so you can see.
Okay.
3. You got this one?
Yeah. 4.
Along with counting each detainee that walks in and out, I also have to check their pockets, hands, cups, and water cooler.
Every time you let them come in or out of the unit, what you're looking for other than counting contraband, is if you have an injury in your hands and in your face, right?
Almost out of breath, I finished the count and safely waved each detainee on out for chow, but not before making sure another important rule is checked off the to-do list.
Secure the door right behind you.
Every time you see a door close it, lock it.
With empty cells comes an opportunity to check those cells without any interruptions.
You have to make it secure, you have to go check the other side before they come back.
Right. How long are they gone for?
Like 20 minutes.
20 minutes. So basically right now we're just inspecting the cells as the detainees are out at chow. making sure that there's nothing out of the ordinary or contraband that they might have left behind, and that nobody is still inside.
We eyeball the cells just to be sure there are no weapons or items readily available for detainees to hurt themselves. Before the detainees come back from eating, we also do an inspection of the north wing, but this time the detainees are inside. So I sound the alarm with short and simple instructions.
Stand by for head count.
The corrections officer in the control room uses this electronic board that locks and unlocks the entrance to each wing in post 5. With a turn of the knob, we have access and we are ready to begin counting the number of detainees. The count we need for this wing is 30. This is done as they either lounge around or clean up their cells and common areas.
I got 29. What do you got?
See what it's worth at.
Are you having fun right now? Are you holding up?
I'm good.
It's north wing, that's north wing. How many are you supposed to have?
North wing has 30. I miscounted by 1.
Let's do it again.
The number during the count came up the same for me, and I have to admit, had me a little worried as I kept coming up one detainee short.
I'm still counting 29. I don't know what he's talking about.
Officer Kidachai says since the count is short, we have to call each detainee out by name, and they respond if present. But that option doesn't always work, and detainees will sometimes give us the runaround.
When they play with you like this, standing head count. Let's go, gentlemen.
Standing head count is when we have to match up the names listed with the physical presence of the detainee. But the joke was on me. Eventually, the missing detainee came out from hiding as he was instructed to remain quiet in his cell during my count. It basically allowed me to take on the pressure as if I were to lose one of the guys that's supposed to be locked up. DepCorps Director Jose San Agustin also paid a visit to the prison during my shift. He was checking up on the conditions of the facility and listening to the concerns of detainees and employees in the Manila compound. I even served as his guard as he spoke with the men. After a quick inspection of the cells, making sure they have a clean shave and asking if the cellmates are getting along, it was time for me to wrap things up. Kidachai says if there's anything I can take away from this experience, it is that safety always comes first, especially when working in a harsh environment such as this.
As a correction officer, you worry about everything. You pray to God every day. You ask Him to give you the day and make sure everybody's okay. That's your job. Custody, care, and control.
Thanks to those DOC staff like Officer Kidachai and Corporal Dehil, the community can rest easy despite DOC operating with its limited resources.
He showed me that he would like to learn this job. He did a very good job, but I believe he needs more time here to learn this job completely. I'd like to congratulate him for coming here and trying to learn this job. Now back to you guys at the studio.
Trading Places is presented by